How do you know you're becoming a wolf? Most traders think the answer is simple. A bigger account, more winning trades, less fear, more confidence. They're wrong. In fact, the first signs are almost invisible. Nobody congratulates you for them. Nobody notices them. Not even you. Because becoming a wolf doesn't begin in your account. It begins in your mind. Long before your profits change, your relationship with the market changes. That's how every transformation starts. Quietly. Imagine watching a young wolf on its first hunt. Every movement in the forest feels important. Every sound demands attention. Every shadow could be food. So it runs. Again and again. It mistakes activity for survival. Now watch the alpha. The same forest, the same uncertainty, the same hunger. Yet he barely moves. Not because he lacks ambition, because he no longer confuses movement with progress. The market works exactly the same way. Average traders believe every candle deserves a reaction. The wolf knows most candles deserve nothing. And that's the first sign. You stop reacting to everything. Not because you stopped caring, because you finally understand. The market doesn't pay people for reacting. It pays people for selecting. Most traders spend their day looking for trades. The wolf spends his day ignoring them. That sounds lazy, until you realize every trade you don't take protects the trader you'll become tomorrow. The average trader asks, "What if this setup works without me?" The wolf asks, "What if this setup costs me my standards?" One question creates FOMO, the other creates freedom. That's when something strange begins to happen. Silence no longer feels uncomfortable. You stop needing to click. You stop needing action to feel productive. You stop believing that doing more creates more. And for the first time, you become comfortable watching the market without needing to participate in it. Most people think that's boring. The wolf calls it control. Because the strongest trader in the room is usually the one doing the least, not the one doing the most. That's the first sign you're becoming a wolf trader. The market no longer controls your attention. You decide what deserves it. And once that happens, another change quietly begins. A change that feels almost impossible at first. You stop needing to be right. And that's the moment. Everything starts changing.
The second sign is even stranger. You stop needing to be right. That sounds weak, until you realize the need to be right has destroyed more traders than being wrong ever has. Think about the last time you moved your stop loss. Why? Was it because the market changed, or because you couldn't accept what the loss meant about you? That's the trap. Most traders aren't protecting their capital, they're protecting their ego. The wolf protects neither. He protects his process. There's a reason the forest never guarantees a successful hunt, because certainty doesn't exist. The wolf accepted that long before the hunt began. The average trader never does. He enters every trade secretly hoping, this one has to work. The wolf enters every trade knowing it doesn't. And that's exactly why he stays calm. The market doesn't owe him a winner. The forest doesn't owe the wolf a meal. Both simply offer probabilities, nothing more. That's the second sign. You stop negotiating with uncertainty. You stop asking the market to make you feel safe. You stop expecting every setup to reward you. You stop believing that losses are personal, because they're not. A loss is just information, nothing else. Most traders understand that sentence. Very few actually believe it. You can always tell the difference. The trader who doesn't believe it changes his behavior after every loss. The wolf doesn't. His standards remain exactly the same. 1 loss, 5 losses, 10 losses. His execution never changes, because identity should never fluctuate with outcomes. Imagine a lighthouse standing in the middle of a storm. The waves become violent, the wind grows louder, the darkness becomes heavier. Does the lighthouse panic? Does it move? Does it negotiate with the ocean? No. Its job never changes. The wolf thinks the same way. His standards don't move because the market became emotional. That's why emotional traders constantly feel exhausted. They're rebuilding themselves after every trade. The wolf never rebuilds. He simply remains. And eventually, that stability becomes confidence. Not the loud confidence social media loves. The quiet confidence that says, I don't know what this trade will do, and I don't need to. That's real confidence, not prediction, acceptance. And once you stop needing certainty, something else quietly disappears. The fear of missing out. Because for the first time, you realize the market isn't running away from you. It will still be here tomorrow, next week, next year. The forest isn't running out of opportunities. Only emotional traders believe it is. The wolf never hunts because he's afraid of missing prey. He hunts because the opportunity deserves his energy. And that leads to the third sign. The sign almost nobody notices, until they've already become someone completely different.
The third sign. You stop measuring success by money. That sounds impossible, because almost everyone starts trading for money. The wolf did too. But somewhere along the journey, something changes. He realizes money is a terrible scoreboard. One reckless trade can make thousands. One disciplined trade can lose. If profit alone defines success, then gambling looks like genius. The market has fooled millions that way. The wolf refuses to be one of them. Instead, he measures something else: execution. One question becomes his new scoreboard. Did I honor my standards? If the answer is yes, the day was successful, even if the trade lost. That's the third sign. You stop celebrating profitable trades. You start celebrating disciplined ones, because discipline compounds, luck doesn't. The fourth sign arrives so quietly, most traders don't even notice it. The market becomes quieter. Not because volatility disappeared, not because trends became easier, because the noise inside you finally faded. The same chart that once filled you with anxiety now feels ordinary. The same losing trade that once ruined your entire week now feels like a single page in a very long book. Nothing changed outside. Everything changed inside. That's what emotional freedom feels like. The forest isn't less dangerous. The wolf is simply no longer afraid of every sound. And then, without warning, the fifth sign appears. You stop trying to become profitable. Listen that again. You stop trying to become profitable.
Instead, you become obsessed with becoming consistent, because you finally understood the truth hidden beneath every great trader. Profits are rented. Character is owned. Money comes, money goes. Identity stays. That's why the wolf no longer asks, "How much can I make this month?" He asks, "Am I becoming the kind of trader who deserves success for the next 20 years?" That's a different game, and almost nobody is playing it. The average trader is trying to win the next trade. The wolf is building the next version of himself. One thinks in outcomes, the other thinks in identity. One needs certainty before acting, the other accepts uncertainty before beginning. One chases the market, the other lets the market come to him. And that's the moment you realize something incredible. The 5 signs were never about trading. They were about transformation. You don't become a wolf because your account grows. Your account grows because you became the wolf. The market never rewards the smartest trader. It rewards the trader who remains the same person in profit, in loss, in boredom, in uncertainty. Because consistency has never been a trading skill, it's an identity. So, if you've started noticing these signs, if silence feels more comfortable than excitement, if patience feels stronger than urgency, if protecting your standards matters more than protecting your ego, then congratulations. You may not see it in your account yet, but something far more valuable has already started growing. The person placing the trades. And once that person changes, everything else eventually follows. Because wolves aren't recognized by the trades they win. They're recognized by the person they refuse to stop becoming. If you're building that mindset, subscribe and join the pack. Because becoming profitable is temporary. Becoming the wolf lasts forever.